Hi, Michael here. How are you? Well, I hope. Um, I'm sitting in Szczecin, and I've just finished the third of three documentary shorts about Polish Jewish artists. And I've been thinking about my journey in Poland and how it actually, in some ways, all started here in Szczecin. So about 10 years ago, even longer, a man named Janek Trakowski, who was an associate artist at the time at a theater called Kana, Teatr Kana, here in Szczecin, really cool theater, invited myself and Sarah Garton Stanley to Szczecin to work on a show that we were making with my mother, Mary Berchard, and Katka Reszke, about coming to Poland for the very first time. So we spent quite a lot of time in Szczecin working on this show, developing it at Kana, and then we performed it here. And it was really through the process of developing that show, making that show, that I ultimately made the decision to move here to Poland. And I'm just reflecting on the fact that I have a really fascinating full life here now. And if you had asked me 10 years ago if my reality would be what it is, I would have definitely said absolutely not. So to give you an example of what my life looks like now, today I'm flying to Rzeszów because tomorrow I'm going to be doing a day on a television series called 1670, which is one of the more popular television series in Poland. Interestingly, I almost landed a much larger role on this series as the innkeeper, the Jewish innkeeper, the Kaczmarz, but because of my accent, Netflix decided to go with a Polish-speaking or a Polish-sounding actor. But they liked me enough that they wrote me a little part, and I'm going to do it tomorrow as the Kaczmarz's American cousin. And they just named me Michael. So they just gave me my actual real name for the spot, which is really cool because it almost feels like I'm kind of just playing a version of myself. Which is interesting because that's kind of the journey that I've been on in Poland, just playing this like North American Jewish guy who's moved here. That's what, making videos like this is about. Just sort of like putting myself out there as me being this guy. And then immediately after that, I go to first I go to Warsaw to look after my son for a few days. And then I go to Katowice to perform in Zanurzenie, which is one of the shows that I made with director Marcin Wierzchowski, one of the three shows. And then directly after that, I get on a train and I go to Poznan and I perform in Altaheim, which is the first show that I made with Marcin. And then after that, I go back to Krakow and I perform in Jeszcze Polska nie zginęła, which is my newest show that I made with Dorota Abbe at Baraka. And the day after that, I get on a plane and I fly to Calgary in Canada because I'm going to perform in a play called the Lehman Trilogy, directed by Sarah Garton Stanley, who was the woman who I co-created the show We Keep Coming Back, which is the show that I made here in Szczecin. I'm going to spend 2 months with her there, performing in this show. And it's kind of incredible. It's kind of amazing. I really appreciate what's happened in my life. And it kind of also shocks me that this is the life that I'm living now here in Poland. I had this theory that Poland would be interested in me because of my history in this country, because of my family's history in this country, which is dark, which is difficult during the Holocaust. However, prior to the Holocaust, it wasn't dark. My family liked living in Poland, and our family was cut off from this country because the trauma of the Holocaust was just so great. The trauma of what my grandmother and grandfather lost here was so devastating that they emotionally blocked Poland off. And I wanted to come back here in order to reconnect emotionally to this place on a positive level. And I believe that because of my desire to do that and reconnect to my Polish Jewishness and do it through the context of art practice, this country has been and continues to be open and welcoming to me in order to do that. Of course, it doesn't hurt that I'm good at what I do, because I am. But there's a lot of people who are good at what they do, but it doesn't necessarily mean that their voices are desirable for a particular context. And I believe that my voice is desirable, is desired in Poland. And the proof is that, the most popular series in Poland is literally writing a role for me, giving me my actual name, and putting me in the show, speaking Polish, of course, with my North American accent. Anyways, I thought that would be a nice thing to talk about and share on this beautiful day. Look at this view, where I am in Szczecin. And I've heard that one of the jokes in Poland is that most people don't know where Szczecin is or believe that it's even a place because it's so far away from everything else. But ironically, Szczecin, for me, was like one of the first truly meaningful places in Poland for me because of how my journey began here. And so it's nice to be back here. I have the day to just reflect. I'm going to go for some breakfast now. And I wanted to share that with you as well. Thanks a lot, and I love you.